in New Jersey.
Welcome back. Free limo rides took center stage at the corruption trial for former Nassau County Executive Ed Mangano, his wife Linda, and former Oyster Bay Town Supervisor John Venditto.
The prosecution is focusing on the many free limo rides for the entire Venditto family. Fox 1's Dominic Carter with more from the federal courthouse in Central Islip.
And good evening, Courtney and Mike. Today was all about free limousine rides. To listen to the prosecutors and their star witness, the limousine rides were a matter of all in the family for former Oyster Bay Town Supervisor John Venditto. Restaurant owner Harindra Singh testified one trip he paid for Venditto in 2010 was to the Metropolitan Opera in New York City, where the driver waited for Venditto before making the trip back to New Hyde Park. Prosecutors charged that part of the alleged scheme. Mangano and Venditto guaranteed $20 million in loans for Singh. Another trip was from North Massapequa to Rockefeller Center in New York City. Singh said he paid for limos for Venditto's wife and children, twice for Venditto's daughter to go to her job at Fox News, and for the limos at the wedding and bachelor events for Venditto's son. Quoting Singh, "He's the supervisor's son, so I had to do it." How are you going to explain all those limousine rides?
You and I spoke before, and I think I gave you the best answer I could. I really do appreciate the opportunity always to speak to the media, and as much as I would like to now, I think it'd be very foolish if I did.
Singh testified Venditto's son even called him directly for limo service. He said Venditto's son would refer to him as uncle, and in turn, he called Venditto's son, quote, "my handsome nephew." Singh said he paid limo bills for several Oyster Bay officials, including Venditto's chief of staff, which included dinner and a hotel stay for a New York City visit with his then girlfriend. Singh said, quote, "they asked me to take care of it, and so I did." Singh also testified that Mangano and his wife Linda, who is another defendant at this trial, ate at his restaurant, but did not pay the bill 80% of the time. Courtney and Mike, court resumes on Monday. At the federal courthouse in Central Islip, Dominic Carter, FiOS 1 News.
Dominic, thank you. And of course, be sure to stay with FiOS 1 News for continuing coverage of the corruption trial of Ed Mangano.
Well, students in Ardsley will march on Washington this weekend, part of the March for Our Lives rally. And today they got a few tips from a state senator. FiOS 1's Allie Rosen has more.
And I believe that the American youth has been kept quiet for too long.
Logan Mehta, a senior at Clarkstown North, is asking his community to stand up against gun violence.
Every student should have the right to an education without fearing their life being taken away from them. And their parents and their teachers and their community should not have to deal with any struggles like this. The tragedy in Parkland 1 month ago was the last straw. We will not sit back and watch. We will fight for a change. And that starts this Saturday.
State Senator David Carlucci is joined by parents and students of Rockland County on Thursday to bring awareness to Rockland's very own March for Our Lives.
When we as parents put them on the bus in the morning, we should not have to worry that they are not going to come home in the afternoon. So we are calling on all politicians and everybody in the country to demand common sense gun legislation to keep them safe.
On Saturday at 10 a.m., the community is rallying in front of the Rockland County Courthouse in support of common sense gun legislation.
And I firmly believe the only way this is going to happen is by the action of the young people that are standing next to me today. It's because of their strength and their commitment that I think we can finally turn a corner in this nation and say enough is enough. We demand change, and it's going to happen because of these people. So
While they're too young to vote, these students are still hoping to have an impact at the polls.
Well, I want adults to hear my voice. I'm going to be 16 in May. I can't vote for another 2 years. So adults need to see that kids are upset about this, and hopefully voters will be inspired by our message.
The Parkland survivors are leading the March for Our Lives in Washington on Saturday. In New City, Ali Rosen, FiOS 1 News.
And be sure to stay with FiOS 1 News for special coverage of the March for Our Lives in Washington, D.C. this Saturday, starting at 11:30 a.m., hosted by Andrew Whitman and myself. And our Richard French will be live from Washington, D.C. That march begins at noon.
Big day.
Yes.
Still ahead, airport union workers demanding higher wages.
And New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy is in their corner. His plans to come out swinging up next.
FiOS 1 News.